You might not realize it yet, but everyone around you is leaving little hints about who they truly are. Every glance, every hesitation, every subtle gesture is a clue. And once you know how to notice them, you can understand people on a level most never see. These are skills rarely taught, but Nietzsche's 18 psychological truths can guide you in reading anyone instantly, revealing not only others' inner worlds, but your own. This isn't a superficial list or a quick set of tips. This is a detailed, step-by-step exploration, broken into 3 interconnected sections. Each builds on the previous one. Skip even one part, and you risk missing the depth that makes these truths truly transformative. Stick with me, and by the end, you won't just see people. You'll see the forces shaping them, and you'll understand yourself in ways you never imagined. The masks we wear. From the moment we're young, we're trained to trust words. Words are the currency of human interaction. But Nietzsche warned us that people rarely speak from pure truth. Most speak from survival, ego, or fear. The face they present to the world is often a mask, a shield designed to protect them from rejection or ridicule. A person who seems endlessly generous may be afraid of being criticized. Someone who appears confident might be quietly crumbling inside. What's most surprising is that most people aren't even aware they're acting. Their smiles, their tone, even their opinions are shaped by habits developed for safety, not authenticity. Nietzsche once said, "Every profound spirit needs a mask." He didn't intend it as a criticism. He intended it as a warning. Never confuse the mask with the person beneath. Truth is almost always revealed not in words, but in subtle cracks. The way someone glances away when uncomfortable, the nervous laugh that doesn't match the situation. The sudden topic changes when something hits too close to home. Truth 1. Everyone wears a mask to survive. Masks aren't deception, they're protection. But they slip. The first clue to someone's genuine self is tension. Watch for what makes them uneasy. That's where the real person begins to show. Truth 2. What someone despises in others often mirrors what they're hiding within themselves. Projection is a sharp tool Nietzsche highlighted. The qualities we mock in others are often the ones we fear in ourselves. If someone constantly ridicules arrogance, they may be insecure about their own self-worth. If someone criticizes dishonesty, they may be avoiding a truth about themselves. Pay attention to what irritates them. It's often a window into their inner struggle. Truth 3. Silence can speak louder than words. Language, Nietzsche argued, can be a tool of evasion. People often speak to avoid confronting their inner realities. When someone hesitates, dodges questions, or gives curt answers, the unspoken message is clearer than anything they could articulate. Their silence is a mirror of what they fear or are hiding. Truth 4. Excessive virtue can disguise insecurity. The person loudly proclaiming their moral superiority may be compensating for inner doubts. Nietzsche described this as the will to power in disguise. When someone constantly corrects others or signals virtue, it's worth asking what they might be concealing beneath the performance. True integrity doesn't require applause. Truth 5. People lie to themselves first. When someone insists, "I'm fine" or "I don't care," the lie is often internalized first. They may genuinely believe their own words after repeated repetition. Recognizing these self-deceptions is key because the cracks in their stories often reveal their truth. Truth 6. Superiority often hides inferiority. Nietzsche noticed that people who constantly assert dominance or boast about accomplishments are usually masking insecurity. Real confidence doesn't need validation. Observe where someone seeks to control or belittle. That's often where their vulnerability resides. Understanding these masks isn't about judgment, it's about clarity. The person interrupting constantly isn't necessarily arrogant, they may fear being forgotten. the one showcasing happiness endlessly might be seeking validation. These truths allow you to read the mask without condemning fear, projection, and performance. Part 2 dives deeper into why these masks exist and how they reveal themselves under pressure. Nietzsche believed the self is not a stable entity. It's a performance, stitched together to navigate the world. When that performance is threatened, the truth leaks out. Truth 7. Most human behavior is driven by unconscious fear. Over-explaining, dominating a conversation, or disappearing entirely often comes from a fear of loss of status, love, or self-worth. To truly understand someone, ask not what they want, but what they are afraid of losing. Fear is the foundation of nearly all action. Truth 8. Projection shows itself through repeated criticism. When someone constantly belittles or mocks others, it's rarely about the target. The criticism is a confession. A man ridiculing sensitivity may be terrified of his own feelings. A woman mocking appearance may be in conflict with her own self-image. Paying attention to these projections uncovers their hidden insecurities. Truth 9. Confidence often masks guilt. People who appear unshakable may be concealing regret or shame. Leaders, teachers, or public figures sometimes display certainty as a defense. Observe subtle tension in gestures or speech. That's where their hidden doubts reside. Truth 10. Exaggeration is a signal. When someone claims absolutes, "I never care what anyone thinks," or "I'm always happy," the overstatement often reveals the opposite. Extremes in speech highlight insecurities that the person wants to hide. Listen for what they amplify. It's a clue to what they fear or doubt. Truth 11. The desire for control signals inner chaos. When someone micromanages every detail or dominates others, it's often because they feel unstable internally. Nietzsche argued that controlling the outer world is a response to inner disorder. Instead of fearing controlling people, see the vulnerability that drives their need for order. And now Truth 12. Loud performance can indicate emptiness. Social media, curated identities, and constant updates are modern expressions of this principle. When someone performs excessively, it often stems from a lack of inner security. The quieter, more grounded person rarely seeks attention. They are already complete within themselves. By understanding fear, projection, and performance, you gain insight into the motivations behind actions. You start seeing behaviors not as intentional harm, but as survival mechanisms, patterns, childhood wounds, and deep truths. In the final section, we explore the most profound layer, the influence of childhood experiences on adult behavior. Nietzsche believed our deepest patterns are rooted in early life, often operating outside conscious awareness. Truth. 13 is people act from pain, not logic. Arguments, decisions, and beliefs are often shields protecting past wounds. Someone rejecting love might be safeguarding a fear of rejection. When you focus on the underlying fear, interactions shift from confrontation to understanding. And the Truth 14. How someone treats the vulnerable shows their real character. Strength is revealed in restraint, not domination. Mocking, punishing, or exploiting others often reflects unresolved personal struggles. Compassion, on the other hand, signals inner mastery. Truth. 15. Fear of being forgotten drives attention-seeking. People who constantly demand recognition may appear confident, but Nietzsche saw this as stemming from a deep fear of invisibility. Noise and performance are cries for acknowledgement, not vanity. Truth. 16. Envy often masquerades as attack. People sometimes undermine others not out of hatred, but because they secretly desire what they cannot have. Criticism can be a confession of longing, a reflection of what they admire but feel forbidden to pursue. Truth. 17. Adults act out their childhood experiences. We are shaped by early roles, expectations, and traumas. Someone punished for expressing emotion as a child may appear cold or detached as an adult. Recognizing these patterns allows you to read behavior as biography rather than intent. Truth. 18. Patterns are confessions. Repeated behaviors, disappearing when things get close, overworking to avoid reflection, seeking multiple superficial connections, all reveal protective strategies formed long ago. Observing patterns allows you to hear truths people cannot articulate. When you combine these truths, something remarkable happens. You stop personalizing behaviors. You stop judging. You start observing with clarity and empathy. You begin to see people not as villains or heroes, but as humans navigating a world that often forced them into masks. By now, the principles are clear. Masks, fear, projection, performance, childhood patterns, they all shape human behavior. Your role is not to manipulate or exploit this knowledge, but to approach it with understanding and compassion. The more clearly you see others, the less likely you are to be deceived, frustrated, or angered by them. This is the true power Nietzsche reveals. Seeing beyond surface appearances transforms how you interact with the world. You no longer respond to the mask, you respond to the person beneath. The interruptions, the exaggerations, the constant performances, they all become guides to understanding, not sources of conflict. When you observe deeply, the world opens up. You notice subtle signals others overlook, a fleeting discomfort, a nervously forced smile, the tension that hints at unspoken truths. Each moment offers insight into the human experience, and each truth you observe is a lesson for yourself as well. Nietzsche's 18 psychological truths are more than observation tools. They are invitations to awaken, to notice, understand, and connect. By learning to read anyone instantly, you don't just gain insight into others, you gain a mirror to better understand your own fears, masks, and projections. Conclusion. So, take a step back, watch, listen, feel the subtle shifts in tone, expression, and behavior. Observe patterns, not isolated incidents. Reflect on what makes others uncomfortable, what they amplify, and where they seek control or attention. This is not about manipulation. It's about empathy and clarity. Once you learn to read masks, you can navigate relationships with deeper understanding, and you begin to see yourself more clearly as well. If you've ever wished you could decode hidden truths, understand why people behave the way they do, or recognize patterns you've missed, these 18 truths give you the roadmap. Nietzsche didn't just want us to analyze others, he wanted us to awaken to our own humanity. Notice the mask, watch it slip, see the tension, hear the silence, recognize the patterns. Compassionate insight is the reward. And remember, the more you learn to read others, the more you discover about yourself.